So I wanted to talk about how background is basically the bottom of the totem pole. Like everyone else is above us. The crew, any of the actors that have lines, anything like that. Even the people, even the craft service people who service our food are pretty much above us. We're just the lowest of the low. Whenever there's food being served, the crew always eats first, obviously, because sometimes they don't even take their full lunch. They'll just grab something to eat while they're working, or they only have like 10 or 15 minutes before they have to go set up for the next shot. So it's understandable that they have to eat first. And then sometimes, like the set that I was on yesterday and today, they don't feed you at all. Like, if you are on a studio lot, like at Warner Brothers or at Paramount or Sony, sometimes if you're on the lot, they'll just do a walkaway lunch, which is basically an hour for you to go and eat wherever you can find food. And all the lots have cafeterias or cafes you can go and eat at, but of course they're pretty expensive. Like I've spent like $15 on myself last week, just myself, to get like a burger and fries at Warner Brothers. So it can be pretty ridiculous. So when there's a walkaway lunch, sometimes, like the job I just worked on, they'll give union members a ticket. And so the ticket will entitle them to go get lunch or go get breakfast that's actually being catered. So this morning we got there at like 8:30, and for all of us, they had like bagels and donuts and like fruit. But then for the union background, they all got a ticket and they got to go through the entire breakfast buffet, which is like breakfast burritos, breakfast quesadillas, scrambled eggs, bacon, sausage. And so they're coming in to our little area with this like smorgasbord of food, and we're just like sitting there eating like a stale bagel and a fattening donut. So it's kind of unfair, but I mean, that's one of the perks of being in the union, is that you get rights like that. We don't really ever have anywhere comfortable to sit. The crew has all their nice little like fold out like Hollywood chairs that you always see, like director's chair, and it has like it'll have the name of the production, and then it'll have the name of whose chair it is, and they're actually pretty comfortable. But we get like, hard plastic fold out chairs. Sometimes they don't even have enough chairs for everybody, so some people I've seen just like sit on the ground. Some people have to stand and wait for more chairs. So they really don't think about us being comfortable, that's for sure. We can't talk, that's another thing. We'll be on set, and I get that they don't want it to be super loud in the room because the crew members will be trying to set up for shots and they're going to be trying to talk to each other. So if everyone's talking, it'll just be a loud mess and no one would be able to hear each other. But sometimes they just get crazy about the talking. There's this one show in particular that anyone who does background around here will know which show I'm talking about. The lady who is normally in charge of handling all of us, she is like a speech Nazi. Like, she's crazy when it comes to talking on set. She'll say, oh, I'm in the mood to fire someone today, and the next person that talks is getting fired. Or she'll tell people to get a list of names of whoever's talking, and that who's ever on the list is going to get fired and reported to our casting agency. And then people will still be standing there and they'll still be talking, like right after she just yelled at us. And it's like, obviously, if they're getting so upset about it, just shut up. So I don't know, maybe that's why we're the lowest of the lows, because we can't even just stay quiet if someone asks us to stay quiet. So stuff like that. So I just stay quiet, and if anyone tries to talk to me, I just like shake my head and like walk away or go sit down. I feel bad. I don't want to be a bitch, but I also don't want to get fired, so. With the main actors and actresses, I think it's funny. They have like I call them a shoe person. I don't know what their actual title is. I don't know if they're an assistant or what, but girls especially, a lot of the times on set, girls will, like, the main actresses will come in their Uggs and like their big puffer jackets and just being really comfortable. And then when we're rehearsing, they'll still be wearing all that. And then when it's time to shoot the scene, they'll have their shoe person who comes and will take their shoes off for them, put their Uggs in a bag, and then I'll put their high heels on for them, and I'll like hold their jacket. And I mean, that's pretty nice to have that sort of assistance, because when we go out there, say it's a club scene, we're wearing like little skimpy club outfits and heels, and it could be like 40 degrees outside, and we don't have a shoe person or like a coat person, so that's a little perk, I guess, of making it in the big time. But I worked on this one show, and we got there super early in the morning. It was like 6 or 6:30, and they were supposed to provide breakfast for us. So they told us to go upstairs where the food was set up and grab something to eat. So we all go upstairs, and there's like a lot of food, like tables and tables of food. So you don't even know everything that's there. So you have to like walk around and like check things out before you choose, because you don't want to leave with like 2 plates of food, because that's like ridiculous. I mean, some people do it, but that's just rude. So we're walking around like just seeing everything that's there. And then the guy who's running the catering yells at us and is like, you know what, this isn't Trader Joe's, like you can't just like walk by here and, you know, go shopping, just grab something and move on. And so we're like, okay. So I grabbed like a bagel and like some fruit or something, and then we were going to get coffee, and the coffee setup takes a long time because it was kind of like a Keurig coffee maker, so it takes a little bit. So we're making our coffee and we're trying to like get that done and get the creamer and the sugar, and he's just getting more and more upset that we're even just in his presence pretty much. So then, of course, we're looking for like the forks and the knives and everything so we can get our breakfast and we can just go back to our holding area. And he was just so annoyed that we were there. And he got on his radio and he told his other catering buddy, like, oh, you know what, background's up here and they're just being super annoying and, you know, they won't leave, so we just need to give them a setup downstairs and just put some shitty background food down there. Quote unquote, shitty background food. Like how, it's so rude, right? Like I don't know why he, didn't like his job or hated the fact that we needed to eat breakfast. I don't know what his problem was. And then he came downstairs with a little fold-out table to set up our shitty food, and he was literally slamming it on the ground, like super loud, just in a huff, like a 2-year-old throwing a temper tantrum. He's like folding out the table all angry, and then like slamming down like leftovers of the food from upstairs. So just ridiculous stuff like that. And a lot of times how we know we're at the lowest of the low has to do with food for some reason. I don't understand it. I don't know why these food people are so crazy about their food. At the end of the night, they just throw it all away anyways, because they're not allowed to give it away or donate it. So it's going to end up in the trash, but these people like throw a fit whenever we get hungry or want a snack, God forbid. So the set I was on yesterday and today, yesterday we got there and it was not a very good setup. They pretty much just gave us like cookies and chips, and then they did a walk-away lunch, and I don't exactly have the money to be going out and eating lunch all the time, and I didn't bring a lunch. So that was my fault, I guess, but I just kept eating like chips and cookies, which sucked, and then I had an apple because I felt like I was going to die. So at the end of the night, they did a second meal. So that's basically like dinner. If you're there for like 12 hours on a set, they feed you twice, or they give you 2 breaks. So I got called to set, and I was sitting there waiting to shoot, and one of the crew members was like, oh, hey guys, it's the last call for dinner for the crew, so if you guys want food, like go grab something. And then someone else in the crew was like, yeah, you know, guys, you better go grab some food before the locusts descend on it, like referring to us. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I can't say anything, but it's like, how rude are you to sit there and call us like locusts, and basically that we're just gonna descend on the food and like take it all for ourselves. It's like, you haven't really fed us all day. It's been a 12-hour day. Fuck you. If we want food, like, if you don't want us to eat the food, don't offer it to us. But if you say we'll be able to eat after you guys get your food, then chill the fuck out, because I'm pretty sure you got all the food that you wanted. So I'm going to take a break from the angry, the angry videos. Starting next week, I'll talk about the good sets I've been on and some other good things you can expect. But this is called Hollywood Hard Knocks, so I'm not here to tell you all about the rainbows and unicorns that you might expect to encounter doing this job. I'm here to tell you the stuff that actually goes on, and all these problems that I'm going to be talking about. It's not just me, it's stuff that comes up on, at least one topic comes up at every single set that I work on. So it's not just me having a problem or being a prima donna, it's pretty much all of us that have the same feeling about these certain topics. So next week, happy video, and I'll tell you about some of my favorite shows I worked on. So thanks for watching. See you later.